Hi, this is Scott Trout, CEO of the domestic litigation firm Cordell & Cordell. There are many life changes that can happen after divorce that make it difficult or impossible to uphold requirements of your divorce decree. The orders issued in a divorce are based on the facts presented at that time, but the circumstances used in issuing those orders can obviously change. If you feel a modification to your court orders might be necessary, talk to us at Cordell & Cordell.
Contact CordellCordell.com, 1065 East Hillsdale Boulevard, Suite 310, Foster City, California, 94404.
Do you really need headphones?
But I will get my other headphones back from Pat, the headphone thief, the dirty headphone thief.
But I do want to Instagram us as usual.
You're listening to The Brian Moote Show with Brad Nolan.
What's up? I'm Brad Nolan, and I realized we're having a conversation before we came on the air. Like, why does Shireen even need headphones? And then when I hit the thing, she was still talking. I was like, that's why.
Well, that doesn't change usually. We're always kind of talking when... That's kind of how the show rolls. We just kind of continue to talk, whether or not we're in the middle of segments or we're not in segments.
That is true.
And that's kind of the charm of the show, Brad. We don't really know when we're on the air and when we're off the air.
That's Brian Moote and Shireen Thor's in the building.
Hi, friends.
Hi.
Hey, so I wanted... Before we get into other stuff, one, if you guys hear a thumping here and there... it's what happens when you have construction workers in a radio station.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, it's the middle of the day. Excuse me. My scream just gargled up phlegm. That's
like so attractive. I think it's perfect in radio when people are listening to your voice for you to start just
drowning in my own mucus. Jesus.
Smoke weed every day.
I should start smoking weed at all. I love it because construction workers, they got a job to do. But this happens at every radio station I've ever worked at. There's no time that you can actually work and not disrupt shows unless you're going to do it in the middle of the night. But then the company has to pay people more money because no one's trying to take that contract to work through the night. So they're redoing the whole studio next to us for the morning show on K-Rock. Well, K-Rock in general. The legendary, world-famous K-Rock.
Yeah. Moving in.
With Kevin and Bean, Stryker and Klein. Or Klein and
The
Stryker.
Stryker Afternoon Show with his buddy Klein.
Stryker with his friend Klein. So if you hear like some kind of like thumping, it's both a hammer next door to us and me whacking my face against the microphone.
He does it every week. It's super weird.
But first, let's get into how big of a moron I am and in travel. And I want to run this by both Brad and Shireen because you guys are married folk, and I forgot. Like, I'm not married, and my girlfriend and I are in a long-distance relationship, so we have a certain level of autonomy when it comes to booking travel and things. So I am walking back in from the gym today, and I get an email alert from Delta Airlines reminding me to check in for my flight tomorrow.
Oh.
Which is a problem because today's Wednesday, and you have a morning radio show that happens 5 days a week. And that means you'd be leaving on a Thursday.
But does it have to be 5 days a week? Here's the thing. I almost, when I read it, thought it was Thursday now because of the confusion you have in the sort of morning radio wheel where you just kind of forget. I don't know what day number it is.
No, you plow through the week hoping to make it to Friday.
Yeah, just that's.
And dates of the dates don't matter to you.
So what happened was, I had booked this weekend. I thought I booked a Saturday because I always book Saturday shows in Atlanta. It's at Mad Life Stages in Atlanta, and it's 2 sold-out shows. They've been sold out for a couple weeks, which is great. It's 225 people a show, and I'm doing 2 shows, and they're totally rigged to record an album. So I thought to myself, oh, man, I have a bunch of new stuff. I'll record an album.
Great.
This is awesome.
Yeah.
I booked that like months and months and months ago. And when I booked my airfare, I didn't look at the calendar. I just typed in the day numbers that I needed, and I was like, oh, I have a show the 24th. And I was like, perfect.
Yep,
so I need
Friday.
to fly out the 23rd, and I need to fly back the 25th, which now upon further review, I booked a Friday show, not a Saturday show, and I never looked at the actual calendar. So now I'm finding out, hey, dummy, you're actually flying on a Thursday, and you're flying back a Saturday. And it made me realize 2 things. One, my attention to detail is not great.
I was waiting for that.
I'm going to have to own this one a little bit. Like, I just didn't even bother to look at the calendar. I even remember booking the flights by just going, got to have flights on both sides of this day, right? The other one is, man, I probably need the woman in my life to be more active in helping me get my ish together.
Yeah?
Because when you are doing your own, like, you're just kind of booking your own travel, like, you don't know what you're doing. I mean, could you ever imagine a moment in which you were booking travel or Kenny was booking travel and he just was like, hey, remember you thought I was leaving Friday? I'm actually leaving Thursday now because I booked the wrong days. Would that happen?
I mean, that's possible. It could happen.
Not in my house.
Not in your house? No.
Never.
Tell us, Brad.
Why? Yeah.
Because I'm not allowed to book anything.
That's right.
Oh, really? Oh, so she just doesn't let you.
Yeah, she does all of that stuff, and then I find out later when I'm leaving town.
Well, that's a pretty convenient way to do it, though.
Yeah, for me.
I mean, I don't know, guys. I have so many problems with so many things that are happening right now. So, like, one, I guess that makes sense. Like, your woman organizes you, Brad, and that's fine. That works for you.
To a point, as much as I'll let her.
But, like, with you, Brian, I mean, you don't want to get in a position where you're like, hey, be my executive assistant because, that's not.
Sounds kind of hot.
Yeah, no, why not?
I'm kind of into
so
it.
many sex fantasies we could play out there.
Really? I mean, I guess.
Hey, executive assistant.
It's kind of gross how excited you both just got.
Right. I'm going to need you to stay late and do some extra filing work, huh? Hey, assistant,
man.
order me some Uber Eats, whipped cream, and strawberries.
I don't know. I just think, like, this always happens. Like, women always, like, organize men, and women are always, like, making men get in line, and it's just, like, so annoying.
It's very traditional role. It is annoying.
And it's so annoying.
And I think that I've always prided myself in taking care of my own schedule and handling my own details. But then when I look at it, I'm not really good at it.
Whoops.
I really am not good at making deadlines. I'm not good at getting things done when they're supposed to be done. And now, I'm not talking about work. Work, I generally put that at the forefront. I'm talking about, like, I haven't hit an April 15th tax deadline in a good 6 years. And that one is like a standing appointment. I mean, you know when that's going to happen every year.
Brian, just be better. You know what I mean?
You can't. I'm trying to be better, but always find reasons to not be better.
You're an entertainment professional. I mean, technically, Brian Moote freaking LLC, you could hire an assistant at a very cheap-ass rate who would do all this shit for you.
Actually, this is very true. There's a company called TaskRabbit. This is not an ad, unless you guys want to pay for it.
Hey,
hit the bed. Let's do an ad for him.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Hey, TaskRabbit, you should check it out. You can hire in block hours. So you buy like 20 hours. They last 3 months. So you buy 20 hours, $200, $10 an hour, right?
Right.
But it lasts 3 months. You might not use them all. So they roll over. It's a whole thing. It's very Task Bullet is what I'm actually saying, not TaskRabbit. Sorry,
TaskRabbit sounds like a vibrator.
I've heard of that before.
It is.
The TaskRabbit?
I've never heard of Task Bullet.
No,
Yeah.
Task Bullet, it's the same thing, but it's an actual human. It's domestic, and it's
Okay.
What kind of stuff can you ask him to do? Can I
They
ask
do
him to,
pretty
like,
much
take
anything.
my laundry?
No.
No.
Anything that can be done remotely.
Oh, okay. So just organizing me. Man,
So-
maybe I'll give it a
my
shot.
God,
So
you
exactly
should,
like
dude.
your flights,
Task
Yeah.
Bullet.
social
That'd be
media,
perfect.
you could have them organized and put together. You could have them put stuff together for this
Can I have
show.
him tweet jokes?
Yeah, or you could just
100%, yes.
I
Or you
think
could
what
get
you
a
should-
social media scheduler. Brian, let me organize you. Like, it would be good.
You know what? I don't think you should do that. You know why? Because I'm just so tired of women always putting men and getting them organized and putting them in their place. I just don't think that's
That was
how
really
it should
good.
be.
I don't really like these
That was
traditional
really good, Brad.
gender roles.
Well, no, hold on. So when I say let me organize you, I don't mean let me. Hold on. I don't mean let me do all that bullshit for you. Okay, I mean let me help you strategize.
She means life coach
because
me.
I like strategy, and then you go hire somebody to go do it.
Design a
You know?
game plan, Shireen. I need to
There you
learn
go.
how to book travel on the correct
Well,
days.
you need to yes learn calendar. Okay.
Which is the last day and which is the first one? It depends on how you look at the week. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Sunday's clearly the first day of the week. You always get the first day of the week off.
I always do Monday. Monday's my first day of my week, I think. I'm not at this point. I'm not really sure because I didn't know what day it was until I had to go back and look at a calendar when I realized I was supposed to check into a flight in 10 hours. Cool, sweet. What do you guys want to talk about next? Relationships and fights. The
Well, yeah, you
doghouse?
guys both sounded like you had some train wreck shit going, or were you just being nice? What was that about?
In life? Am I in trouble? Are you in trouble?
You guys guys are
don't think I am
ridiculous.
currently.
Right
I don't think I'm in trouble either.
I mean, I'm skating on thin ice from previous issues, but I've been working on those for years.
But I mean, thin ice is still ice.
I need to hear what these are.
Thin
Yes.
ice is still ice. All right, let's talk about
Yeah,
thin
let's
ice.
talk about it.
Let's talk about the thin
Brian
ice.
Moote is a stand-up
I know.
comedian. Brad Nolan is a stand-up dad. The Brian Moote Show with Brad Nolan.
What's up? My name is Brad Nolan. Brian Moote is here. It's actually his show.
I kind of like the fact that Shireen doesn't have headphones, so she's wildly unpredictable.
Like super weird right now. I'm like, oh, it's happening. Oops, wrong moment.
Because Patrick stole her headphones. Well, stole my second set of headphones.
Thanks, Pat. Thanks a
Yeah,
lot.
real jerk. So I kind of like it. Like, Shireen is like a wild, unpredictable
never
radio
know.
personality today. She might be talking over commercial sets. Who knows? Because Shireen has no idea what's going on.
I really
She's
don't.
just kind of talking.
For the first part of this this segment, I'd like to talk about something actually very interesting. So we had a conversation that about what percentage of followers are real and what are not.
Oh, okay.
In terms of your social media.
Yeah, and I specifically Instagram, and I was talking to Brian, and I said, hey, I got mine checked. A buddy of mine checks everything, and I was pretty excited at a 96% real followers.
Yeah, so
Wait,
I'm
how do you even get fake followers?
You
That's what I
purchase
was
them.
asking too. Or they just follow you too. If you,
I was going to say, like, if you haven't purchased the fake ones, how do you even have 4% fake?
Right.
well, if you
I'm
do
just
it-
wondering.
If
I mean,
if you tweet
Yeah.
a lot of like Trump, anti-Trump hashtags or pro-Trump hashtags, a lot of pro-Trump followers
Are fake.
in the political sphere, yeah, a lot of them have a ton of fake followers because these pro-Trump bots and anti-Trump bots will just start latching on to those accounts and following them. And
Yeah, so there's going to be a certain amount of fake no matter who you
right,
are.
like Trump has a ton of fake followers. I mean, he's got a ton of real followers, unfortunately, but he's got a ton of fake ones too.
Yeah.
Because as soon as he tweets something, they're all like the mentions just get buried with bots. Just
the way you
tweeting
can
gifs
really
and-
tell how important the fake versus non-fake followers is what kind of engagement are you getting on this stuff, right? So if you have 60% real followers, but your engagement's like 1%, then you probably
then your people
started.
don't care
Yeah,
about what you
yeah.
have to
Well, here's
say.
what's interesting about that whole thing. So on Twitter, you could find out how many fake followers you had, but just by going online and doing this quick program, because Twitter was the first social media thing that had a monster problem with it. Now, my ex-wife had like 200,000 followers, and I noticed that a lot of the times when she'd tweet and stuff, really wouldn't get that much traction. So I was like, oh, she's got to have a ton of fake followers. Then I put it in. She had like 90% real followers. So I was like, oh, they just don't really like her
care.
stuff.
Yeah.
You really like the X Factor.
It's really worse, right? I mean, you're kind of hoping
that is worse.
kind of
Yeah.
hoping you're a bunch of bots that just don't like your stuff.
Well, I ran Moot Comedy through the ringer here to see what the final verdict is going to be.
Oh,
He was
boy.
curious, but said if it's bad, I don't care. 94% real.
Wow.
Congratulations.
Who are the 6%
Well,
fake?
exactly. How do you even get fake if you haven't paid for them? Like, that's so
I don't
peculiar.
know. Now, but someone, no, actually, you know what? I used to think that. Like, even my philosophy with bots were, well, someone has to run it. Like, someone is seeing
Yeah.
this.
Well,
I don't-
that's true.
That's
well,
like,
I've paid for followers,
you have?
and I don't know if they're fake or real, but I've paid for followers.
Wait, on what?
I want
what
on
fake?
Instagram because I wanted to get the swipe up capability, and so I
Okay,
was like, whatever.
So you got
bitch,
them right
I'll-
now? Is that what you got right
yeah,
now?
dude, look at it. Well, yeah, because once you get 10,000, you can do the swipe up to a link.
Oh, you get the K and stuff. Unless they do a purge, right? And then you go right back down.
Well,
That's the
honestly,
thing, yeah.
part of me wants the purge. Like, I don't even want them anymore. It makes me feel like I don't have a real gauge on my social media.
Yeah, that's hard because you don't know what lands.
Yeah.
All right. Shireen Thor, 14,500.
So what'd you have before you bought? Did you buy
I
10,000?
think I had like 3,000 or something. Like something that's.
Oh, so you just bought to get to the. But it makes. I'll be honest. I kind of. Well, you got one more because apparently I wasn't following you.
Brian, you bastard.
I think I might have put you over to 14,500
You
instead
just
of.
changed my life.
I just did. I was
Wow.
you literally let 14,499, and now you're at
You
14,500.
are ridiculous.
Look at that. What a good day for you. I would say this about followers. This is such a first world conversation, but it is interesting to me.
Irrelevant.
But it's life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's life now. If you don't have double digit followers, I can't. I mean, I don't take you
Like,
serious.
who are you even?
Right, like
10?
like 10,000. You have to have 10. How many do you have, Brad?
But you said double digit.
I mean, I'm talking
Well,
about
yeah, Brad's like
I'm talking about double
10
digit.
followers?
You got a good chunk.
Double
Brad's
digit
got
with
a
the
good chunk.
double digit with the K.
Oh, no.
Like I don't.
No, I have 3,009.
Soon to be, honey. Soon to be.
3,009, up from 900 2 months ago.
See, that's strong.
Oh, that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's a
Like a
big.
strong run.
That's a big.
With a 96% real. Come on.
You're big time, Brad.
I got like 300 people. Listen, watch every story.
Isn't it sad though that we
That's 10%.
get,
That's pretty good.
That's
we
pretty
get
good.
very wrapped up in these social media numbers where I will go to someone's profile and immediately make a snap judgment on how talented they are based on how many followers they have. Like comedians or actors. I did it today. with a Twitter person. So, man, her name is like Jenny Friedman. She's from New York. And she does an incredible Cardi B impression. And
That's fun.
yeah, people are like retweeting all these videos she's in. And I clicked on her name, and two things immediately stuck out to me and made me judge her as a talented person and then hate myself. And that was she wasn't verified on Twitter, and she only had 3,000 followers. And I was like, how talented can you be? And that's such an awful...
I really enjoy your transparency right now. Like if I was telling the story, I wouldn't have said whose name it was. I wouldn't have really... Or that would have been it.
Time out.
Okay.
First of all, I'm verified on Twitter and only have 3,000 followers, so I get a pass, right? Because
You
the
get-
lower
How
followers...
do you get verified?
No. The lower followers you have plus verification, the cooler you are.
Maybe.
Right? Because like, how did this guy get
I mean,
verified?
like Twitter really wanted
How
to
did you
verify
get verified? I don't even know about this. You're
Yeah,
big time, guys.
of course.
Both of you.
Stop it.
Man, I'm the loser
so
in this
here's the
room.
thing. I want to know what company you used to buy those followers for
Man,
Instagram.
It was a long time ago. I don't even remember.
I may need you to look it up because I just had you checked. 96%
Real?
real.
Whoa!
So we're going to need to get in on this company because...
Oh, so maybe they're real followers.
real
like they're actual
people,
people.
yeah.
Oh, you're so funny. You're like, and I'd like to buy some.
Well,
I like to take a swipe up too. What are you talking about?
Brad, or is
That's
this
interesting.
program
Yeah.
that you're using
No,
really
never.
not good at
That's-
sniffing out the
But
fake
here's
ones?
the thing.
They have
okay,
to be
but
fake.
time out. Here's the thing. You have 14,000 followers, right?
Yeah.
Average likes 128. Your average comments are only 6.
Yeah.
So the percentage is way low. Mine's at a 10% across the board.
You're so much cooler than me, Brad.
I'm just saying. I'm getting
How do you
it.
know that's all the data you have in this program thing?
Mm-hmm.
This has got to be very exciting radio.
Yours,
yeah.
903 average likes, average comments, 34.
All right, that sounds good to me.
It's pretty good.
Sounds like a move.
That's 10%.
All right.
Wait, I thought we were talking about relationship stuff.
We are. We're gonna do
How
that.
did we get on social media?
We're going to do that in the next segment because this is like an interesting pop culture phenomenon.
Educational.
I found this too. I couldn't imagine being a young person growing up with this being the guideline for what is cool and what isn't cool.
It's
I
terrible.
follow all my cousins. They're all, my cousin Kellen is an 8th grader, and he'll put up on Instagram stories, hey, follow all these, like he'll follow this guy, let's get him to 300 followers. Follow this friend of mine, get them to 300 followers. And I'll click, and I've followed a couple of them, and then I'm like, what the hell are you doing? Following these
Following these kids.
just following these 8th graders to help my cousin's friends out. But then it's very serious. Then I'll go look at their pages. They refuse to post photos, right? And they all have burner accounts. They have burner Instagrams. They go only their like friends are in, and they all post pictures of whatever they're really doing. But
That's
if,
interesting.
if they don't get a certain number of likes on a picture, they will either delete it or they won't. Or if they don't think they won't post it. For example, my cousin Kellen, I hijacked his Instagram. I put up a photo of myself. I was looking pretty cool in this photo. And he goes, if I don't get 500 likes, I'm deleting it. I'm like, shut up, dude. Like, I am your coolest cousin by a mile. By a mile. You know what? I venture to say, none of your friends have a cooler cousin. It got 360 likes. Little dick deleted it. It was gone. I was like, man, what do I got to do to be cool to my cousins? I have a radio show in Los Angeles, you jackasses. And they said they're deleting everything. Rude. Not having it.
All right, let's get to the relationship stuff.
Thin ice. That's where we live.
Thin ice, yeah.
Thin
and
ice.
I'll talk about this weekend.
This is gonna be our last segment?
I have like
No, we got 2 more, dude.
Okay.
Nah, dog.
segments for days.
Segments all.
Okay, I'm gonna be quiet right now because
Brad, why are you making that noise?
you just don't want to talk.
The Brian Moote Show with Brad Nolan. Here we have Brian Moote
This better not get me in trouble with my girlfriend.
and Brad Nolan.
No, my wife wants to flip the swinger switch.
Just two boys without man buns.
That's why I was being quiet or making that weird noise because I wanted someone to react and then I was going to hit the thing.
Oh, so you were setting me up.
I was setting you up,
I
Shereen.
wanted someone to react. I'm pretty sure that someone was the one person without headphones
I
on.
was Gatsbying you.
My favorite radio show in the world is the Dan Le Batard Show with Stu Gatz, and every Tuesday.
Wait a second.
Well, okay.
Did they steal their naming convention from us?
Yeah,
okay.
from us, definitely.
Okay, cool.
They added the Stu Gatz part after the With Brad Nolan thing. We inspired them.
Right.
But every Tuesday they have this 65-year-old writer from the Miami Herald named Greg Cody on, and he just doesn't care. He won't be wearing his headphones sometimes. And every hour they try to get him on the hard network out. So we're kind of getting like Shireen on the hard network in.
Right.
Like she's getting the outs correct, but the ins we're struggling with. So like the hard network out, it'd be like they hit the button and they're just like in the middle of a sentence. With Shireen, it's like we hit the button and she's still like, but you can't really hear what she's saying because the music thunders in. So let's talk about Thin Ice. And Shireen had a doozy of a weekend.
Oh, man.
With the old ball and chain.
It was terrible. It was
Can
really
you call
bad.
husbands ball and chains?
Oh, yeah. Are you kidding me?
I feel like it's a matter of perspective. I feel like the ball and chain is a matter of perspective.
Yeah,
The
that's
ball-
true.
Right? It's like, depends on, in the relationship, who's more of like the wild, free spirit. The other person's the ball and chain.
Yeah, I think that's
Every
true.
time, right?
Yeah,
Right?
I
Yeah.
think that's true.
Like,
What is it in yours, Brad? Who's the wild? You're the wild free. No, she's the wild. I can't tell.
I don't even know anymore.
Yeah, you
I
two
don't know.
are confusing, actually.
Yeah, because Nikki's got like this streak of like, every once in a while you hear like some crazy thing, like she dated a woman.
Yeah,
And
her
then-
relationship before me was like a 5-year relationship with a girl.
Yeah.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden she's with Brad and
And
they
then she
have
was
a
like
dog.
close enough
Right, and then
to a girl.
That was good. That was
You're
good
like,
comment.
you were like heterosexual relationship starter kit. But you locked her down, Brad.
Oh, man.
Yeah, but you hear that story, like she was.
Where's the construction happening?
It's coming under my feet.
It's like literally underneath
It's
us,
hitting
yeah.
my feet.
Oh my gosh! Sorry. Go ahead.
I feel it. Can you hear that on the air? Hold on.
I love
Well,
it.
then they
Of
stop.
course
These
they stop.
jerks. Okay, keep going.
Now they're just messing with us.
Then you'll hear a story. You'll hear a story about Nikki dating women, and then all of a sudden she's like, "Hey, I want to clean your entire house for you." I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah. I don't know.
the-
I think we definitely do the trade-off. Sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, no, I'm sitting on the couch not doing anything. And sometimes she's the one doing that. I think
Yeah.
it's just a trade-off for us.
So Shireen, what happened?
Okay, so I feel like in my relationship, he's the ball and chain, and I'm usually the free spirit, just being like the one who's crazy and went skydiving and just like a little bit crazier. But then once we had kids, it kind of switched because I was at home with kids, or even like when I was pregnant. Before we even had kids, I was just
Right.
pregnant. I was like on the couch, like, wow, my life sucks, and he'd be out like free spiriting, and I would be like, I hate you, which we never had before because we used to free spirit together.
Right.
Just so you know, there's a difference between free-spiriting and escaping.
Okay. Give
Like
me
what?
more. What do you
No,
mean?
I'm just saying.
What do you mean, Sage Brad?
If someone who's not, do we want to?
Yeah, should we stop?
Oh, that is loud. I saw the ding right there. Whoa. That is huge. That thing registered almost up into the yellow on the sound meter. Whoa. All right. These hammer guys got some forearms. Pretty good.
Hey, now.
You guys putting in train tracks down there? All right.
All right, so the difference.
Yeah, a free spirit is a free spirit, right? This is someone who's constantly going, "Hey, what's next? What are we doing? I'm gonna feel I'm doing this thing over here in the moment, right?"
alive,
And then there's what you just described, which is, well, being home kind of sucks right now, so I'll go do other things.
later.
Yeah,
Lover.
I'm out.
but it's not really like a.
It's not free
I'm gonna
spirit.
go
I get it.
explore
Yeah,
and
that's
feel
true. That's a
and
good
stuff
point.
like
Right. It's
Okay,
like
so
I'm
basically, regardless of circumstance, Kenny's the ball and chain.
Sorry,
I
Kenny, I didn't mean to
like it.
set you up there.
Yeah, well, it is what it is. So what happened? Where did the friction start?
Okay, so we have had Maya's about to turn 4.
There's 2 hammers now.
It's crazy.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
So I'm just gonna keep talking,
Yeah,
you
go
know,
ahead, do your
because
thing.
whatever with your forearms, nobody cares. Okay, so we've had kids for 4 years, and obviously when I was pregnant, I was on bed rest. So let's just call it like on 5 years, I've been miserably locked down. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, you had to go on bed rest for both children, which
Yeah.
is insane.
It's insane. And we're talking bed rest for like 5-6 months, like each time. It's super just not okay. Especially not for someone who's like got a lot of energy and likes to be out and whatever. So,
How is that postpartum depression?
oh my God, it was just full on misery. It was
Is
like a
it-
delicious cup of misery.
Do you have the postpartum depression, or do you have the postpartum like euphoria of I can get out of my bed?
Well, first time I had postpartum depression, but I just didn't know it. a crazy,
never do.
crazy person. I was
They
not
never know.
okay.
Insane. That's a really crazy. All right, we'll talk about that
But
later.
then the second time, I was like, "Yeah, we're done having kids, and everything's gonna be so good."
I'm going to Cancun.
I was like, so I went to Cancun. I literally, when Luke, that's so funny that you said that, because when Luke was like 8 months old, I went on a women's retreat to Cancun. I was like, later, baby, mama needs some time. Anyway, so the point is, right now, like, we're trying to do a transition where it's like I'm not as locked down. That's what I want. I don't want to be as locked down because, one, I want to work more in order for me to look for a job, find a job, even like do this stuff with you guys more often. Like this, I can't be as locked down.
Well, and fulfill your potential and do the things you want to do in life.
That's right, Brian.
Right? Come on.
It ain't much to ask, you know what I'm saying? And so here's the thing, like some dudes are like all about coming home from work and giving the kid a bath. They just love it. It decompresses them and it's fun and cute and snuggly. Kenny's not that guy, you know? So so I don't know. I just feel like we're getting to a point of like real friction where I have to like pound the pavement like a psycho.
So you basically have to be like, you have to do that.
Yeah.
That's your thing.
Yeah.
You put the baby in the bath.
So it's getting real ugly because Kenny, while he's actually like has such a heart of gold and he's such a good guy, he's not a person who can be forced like most men, you know?
Right.
So
I can be forced to do pretty much anything.
I don't believe that.
Let me think about
not
that
even
for a second.
second.
Come back to it. I'm very stubborn, but I know we're going to talk about in the last segment. I've mastered the art of communicating with my girlfriend.
I doubt it.
Oh yeah,
That's
no,
amazing.
I nailed it now. I got it now. I got everything. I got it on every front now. I'm killing
Maybe
it.
you can teach Shireen how to communicate with her husband.
right.
Clearly. So anyway, it got real ugly this weekend. Like to the point where I was just like, dude, I gotta leave. Like I can't even be in this house right
Ooh,
now.
those are
Like,
good ones. I love those
So
ones.
yeah, so I just left. Like I like Saturday, I took Luke to my mom's. I was like, later, dude, you just have a daddy-daughter day because I can't.
Mm-hmm.
Did that, and then Sunday left again. Was like, I just need a break. And
Need me time.
left him with both kids, and I'm sure he wasn't like, yay, a day with the children. Like it's work when you're caretaking kids, but I was like, I can't, man. I need a break from
that's the perspective right there that I sometimes want to shake people who don't have kids and who are in that rush to have kids.
Right.
Like, yo, you don't understand that this is not that kids are not an accessory. You know what I mean? Like, I think I understand that because I have young family members, and my godson now is 12, thank God. But when he was like 3, 4, 5, they have no chill. They don't let you just do whatever you want. You can't. They don't respect a hangover. You know what I mean? Like, you gotta.
Yeah.
So, and my ex-wife used to say all the time, she's like, I want to have kids. And I'm like, I get that, but like, don't you want to enjoy the fact that, you know, success, like we're kind of being successful people. And I've said that to my girlfriend, like, let's enjoy traveling freely. Let's enjoy, you know what, for Thanksgiving this year, let's just go to Hawaii, not see any family.
I like it.
Because you can do that when you have no kids.
Right.
You're always in a rush to go home and visit your family, but it's once you have children, then grandparents ain't going to stand for that. You can't just go to never go home for any holidays. So it is one of those things where you, like, of course, no guy wants to just have the kids all day, but you need a break.
You need a break.
So you think you're getting unfairly stuck with most of the child stuff?
I think we've had that kind of a dynamic up until now, and now I'm like raging against it like I never have before. And so it's getting like ugly and frictiony, but that's what happens before change. So I'm a little bit just like, don't get too caught up in it. Just like, this is just the storm before the calm.
That's funny. You sound like you're protesting, like the civil rights movement. You got it. You know what? Passive resistance. They're going to spray us with fire hoses, but someday we're going to have equal rights. Is that a good, accurate comparison?
100%.
Oh, man. You guys want to hear about how you nail communication in your relationships?
Yeah, let's do that in the next segment. I also think we have a little bit more to talk about on this, but we'll probably get into it with that.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I like it.
Because I've been in that exact situation before.
Well, let's get right back.
Please
Let's get right
tell
back
me,
into it.
like literally just for me.
What do you think, Shireen?
That's actually not working.
Oh, so you can go ahead and talk.
No.
Why? Do you think
Because
Brad's
he's going to start it, and then I'm going to be
No, it's not.
think Brad's gonna hit the button all of a sudden?
100%.
Oh, gotcha.
You're listening to The Brian Moote Show with Brad Nolan.
Nailed it!
That's like 4 for 4 today.
Yeah! What's up? I'm Brad Nolan. We've got Brian Moote up in the building.
Per usual.
It's apparently being worked on below us, which is kind of scary. I think it's right below us, right?
Or demolished.
Yeah.
I can't tell what the hell
Hopefully
they're doing.
not, because we're still sitting here. So
They might be working on a studio next door, but that's clearly coming from below us.
Yeah.
There is there was a big office below us. There still is the space, but it used to just be this weird looking temp company where there's like computers all over and people rarely there and stuff.
Very Wolf of Wall Street, like temporary.
Like you go in there and they're like, wait, this is where our office was. It's just a bunch of phones.
Where they hire actors to go sit there for videos.
It's like what happens. It's like what happened on Boiler Room when they finally tried to find where all the accounts were, where the phones were coming from. All right, well let's finish talking about the
ball and chain.
The dynamic between the ball and the chain and the leg it's strapped to.
So Brad.
To recap a little bit, Shireen is having the battle of no. I need to have some help here. I need a 50-50 on the parenthood thing.
I think I remember my parents having that debate though. I remember my mom specifically saying like, "Yo, I'm doing too much. You need to do more, and I don't want to have to tell you to do more. You should want to do more, or just pull your own weight."
That exact situation in my household happens once a quarter.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And?
Where I'm like, Nikki, please, for the love of God, take care of our child. More.
Shut up.
No.
I was like, really, dude?
There's no way. No. Not with how much of a
definitely the other way
workaholic
around.
you are.
It's definitely the other way around. She'll go, hey, trash has been sitting there for a couple days, and I'm like, take it out. It's not ever the right response, but that's...
No, that's definitely not. Be like,
Because you're
how we
clearly
start.
such a sweet pea.
I'm like, well, if you knew it was there, why didn't you tell me? And she goes like, I don't have to tell you. You need to look. And so over the last year and a half or so, I've gotten much better. I'm telling you, the transition is difficult in the beginning, but is worth it getting the other partner to realize that, like, hey, look, there's some weight at home that needs to be carried.
Yeah.
And if we both carry this weight, ultimately we'll both be better off for it because you'll be able to bring home some bacon as well. And I think at the end of the day, he just needs to kind of shut down the whole what I want, what I need thing and just do it. Because I'm telling you, at the end of the day, when we did this originally and Nikki went back to work, I was like, wait, there's money in our bank account that I didn't put there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And that is an awesome feeling when you spend it.
Yeah, dude, make it rain. Make
You're
it
like,
rain.
somebody else's money I just spent.
I'm like, is this what it feels like, Nikki?
This is to go back to the gender role question. Brad just got a money gun. So I've been on Amazon all morning with your money. Do you think this is kind of like a traditional gender role thing too? Because I remember that when my parents, the root of both my parents, their friction always ended up being my dad, traditional work, have a job. He did his own business, but he still had a job, and he worked all day. And then, like, my mom would be dealing with us, and then there was just like, my mom's tired, my dad's tired, and she wants him to do something with us, and he's like, I'm just exhausted, man. I've been like doing stuff all day. And then she'd be like, but you don't think that I've been doing stuff all day? So there's like this inherent, like, implied lack of respect.
Yeah, I don't think it's a gender thing, though. I think it's a situational thing,
Like
right?
just
There are
childcare
stay-at-home
thing.
dads.
Right.
This whole
That's kind of
thing
what I
would
meant in
still
terms
come
of
up.
these.
Yeah.
Like, we're all in a relationship right now, or relationships right now, where I don't have any to deal with any of this garbage. But you guys, the women in the marriage are traditionally taking care of the kids for the most part.
Yeah. I think that's just a circumstance situation. Did what kind of careers can he have?
He's a construction manager.
Right, and so it's been consistent since before you met?
Totally.
Could you have make a phone call about these damn hammers?
100%. He'll fix it all up.
Just text them.
Wait, his job is
call
to be
off
like
the hammers.
No, his job is to be like, why aren't there more hammers going? We need to be efficient.
Yeah, that's true.
And so my career was well established prior to meeting Nikki as well, and so I think it has something to do with the circumstance. Had she been rocking a 10-year, by that time, 10, 15-year career in something, then, there's maybe we just wouldn't even have done the kid thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm trying to get, like, Jessica and I talk about this all the time because she does real estate and she's really successful in it. And she's talking about, when I move to LA, I don't want to be a real estate agent. I want to open a doggy daycare. And I'm like, yeah, sure. Yeah, doggy daycare. Let's do that.
By the way, Nikki's down to help. She's all about it.
No.
She wants to do that.
No, I need less people supporting that dream. I need more people crapping on it so I don't have to.
I'll steal the number from your phone and get Nikki and her.
But she keeps saying that, and I'm like, yeah, but real estate. She's like, no, I want to retire. She's like, you should make it big, and I'll retire. I'm like, I think you should make it big. Become a real estate mogul. Get a TV show.
Right.
Flip some houses. What are you doing? Get rich.
Your dreams aren't her dreams, Brian. How do you even communicate with her?
That's not true.
Oh yeah,
because,
what's your newfound
I'll tell you guys.
communication
I got
magic?
two things. I got two tactics right now that I'm doing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so excited.
Two strategies.
You seem so stoked.
I've learned.
Can I guess what they are before you go?
Guess about the communication one. You already know the other one.
One of them is listening. Have you tried that?
No, I'm great at listening.
You're like, it's not on the list.
That's not
He's
it.
like, what? I didn't
It's
hear
not
you.
about listening. To me, it's about listening less, actually.
Oh.
Because what I've learned is when she's venting or she wants to communicate something that frustrates her, she doesn't want me to be devil's advocate. She doesn't want me to present any other side. She doesn't even want me to rationalize or try to talk her down from being frustrated. She just wants a hype man. And I am getting good. My brother laughs now. I'll have her on speakerphone. I'm like, watch me get her fired up right now. And and it actually, I leave the conversation like, hell yeah! Like
Everybody feels good.
Yeah, like she tagged me in, and I just held up whoever she's mad at, and she jumped off the top ropes and just clotheslined him. I'm like, I walk out of there like, yeah, man, we did that together. It's actually fun. Yeah.
This is so great because you've came in here and told stories before about how she was upset about something, and then you tried to give her the other sort of rational perspective, and she was just like, "Oh hell no!"
Yeah,
and then you
abandoned
guys
that completely. That is done.
I'm so happy for you.
I'm
This is
done being
great.
rational. I've learned you cannot be rational around women. You have
Ever?
to just never. You got it. You got to be literally your.
The Brian Moot Show.
I'm her
machismo face, sexist
exactly.
guy.
I'm her Flav. I'm just Flava Flav. That's it. I'm like, yeah, boy, in the background. That's all I'm doing. It's so fun. I realize sometimes our conversations will be talking and it's like, how's your day? How's your day? How's your day? Then she complains about something and I'll just be like, oh, get out of here. Really? No. And then she's complaining about the person she works with who's not pulling her weight. I'm like, that's ridiculous. Are you kidding me? She can do this. And then I start jumping in over the top. Then I'm really going after this person that she works with. And she's like, I know. And I'm telling this person that. And I'm like, God, I'm like, this is insane. And I'm like, and then we leave the conversation, both of us high five. And
this is good.
Yeah, the whole time I'm thinking,
try it.
I'm
should.
telling you, it's a game changer.
Oh, I would love that if Kenny would do that and just be like, "I'll hype man." I'd be like, "Yeah."
Here's the thing.
Stoked.
She's gonna come back down and realize okay, the things I would have said to her, hey, you know what? Maybe this lady's just confused. She's not very good. Maybe there's a miscommunication and things. She's gonna realize those things on her own, or just let it go altogether. So I don't need to take the bullet for that. That I don't need to be the face of opposition. I am on your side.
That's
so I have
right.
learned you just get in that ring. I'm just pumping her up, and we leave the conversation, both of us yeah, that's how you do it.
So what's the second thing?
Oh, the second one. This one's brilliant, and this one I think
He's
Kenny
into himself
needs.
today.
Oh, man, I just I feel like I've
You
had
cracked
an
the code.
awakening. Yes.
I've added this to my life. I know about this. I've added this to my life.
Okay, I've started stocking up on presents and things for when preemptively for when I think I'm going to get in trouble for something.
Okay, this is interesting.
Here we go. Check this out. On a weekend, I'm not going back to Atlanta to see her, right? I know that Saturday night I'll probably be out doing comedy late, having some drinks, hanging with some buddies. I know there's a good chance that I don't get back to her at the exact time that she wants me to. You know what I do? Preemptively strike with flowers on Friday.
Boom.
She doesn't even know what's going on. It's like ninja magic. She wants to be mad at me, but she's also so happy I sent her 24 roses.
Show with Brad Nolan.
Relationship chokehold. What's wrong with that? It sounded aggressive.
You're so wrestling right now. There's so many wrestling
I'm telling you,
analogies.
man, we're a tag team now in all the arguments. That's
So
how you
great.
do it.
Southwest is now selling flights to Hawaii. But instead of talking about our low fares to Honolulu, Maui, and Kona, we'll let the islands speak for themselves. Well said, Hawaii.
Access schedules and service start dates at southwest.com/Hawaii.
Hear that? That's the sweet sound of Minute Maid slushies at McDonald's, turning up your summer with every sip, slurp, and ah.
Get a small sweet peach, blue raspberry, or fruit punch slushie for just $2. Or get any size soft drink for $1. Price and participation may vary. Limited time only. Cannot be combined with combo meal.